Hello guys, let's look at an example of make or buy with some data. This one's from the book, page 525. Thermal Mugs manufactures various types of leak-proof personal drink carriers. Their T6 container, its most insulated carrier, maintains temperatures for up to 6 hours, and it's designing a new lid that allows for easier drinking. The cost to produce this new lid, they give us the DMDL, fixed overhead, variable overhead. So that's if we make it. Internally, those are our costs. Now, an outside company has approached us and offered to produce the lids for us, but they will charge a price of $175. Now, what most managers do at this point is they just see the difference. They go, oh, it costs me $219 versus $175. I'm going to go with $175. But we have to pause. That's why the accounting department is there. We need to make sure that we're considering the relevant costs. Fixed overhead is hardly ever relevant. So that's one that we would be wary of and say, whoa, pump the brakes. Let's go ahead and prepare a differential analysis, making sure that we just cover and capture the relevant revenues and relevant costs. All right, so should we buy it? And then it tells us right down here, the fixed costs are not tied to production and they will still exist. So that means if there is no change, we said if the costs don't change, it's not relevant. Okay, so when we're calculating it, we should not consider it. Okay, it's irrelevant. Why is it irrelevant? Because it doesn't change under the scenarios. If we make it, we have that cost. If we purchase it, we have that cost. We always have that cost. So therefore, it's the same between the alternatives, making it irrelevant. Okay, alrighty. So let's go ahead and now calculate our new cost to produce or make internally. So you're still going to have the 0.87, the 0.45. We said we're not going to include the fixed cost, it's irrelevant, and the 0.36. Add all that up, we should get $1.68. If we purchase it, what's our cost? $1.75. So in this case, we actually want to recommend that we continue to produce or to make it internally. Sorry, let's wait for my printer. Alrighty, this is the format they show in the book for solving it. It's a little different from mine. They went ahead and went to the total costs, which is fine depending on what the problem asks for. But I think we're all able to see at this point, if we stop there, that we want the lower cost, higher net income. So we're going to want to make sure that we produce internally. Okay, and also I'll remind us, not only is it the lower cost, but it comes with those advantages, you know, that we talk about. If we're able to maintain the production in-house, we're going to allow for better control of our brand image, right? We're not laying anyone off, and we're able to better control the quality and logistics of that lid. All right, now expanding on this, if we take it a little further, let's look at an example when fixed costs might be relevant. We said most of the time they're irrelevant, but if they differ between the two alternatives, now they're relevant, and now we need to consider it. So by producing the T6 lid internally, we can save a total of this, which is when we multiply the per unit cost times the number of lids we were going to manufacture. But how would our analysis change if some of the fixed costs are now avoidable? Okay, so about of the 51 cents, 12 of the cents is avoidable. So now we should consider it because now it's different. If we don't manufacture it in-house, we can avoid 12 cents of fixed costs, right? So let's go ahead and now calculate our new make. So we have DM of 87, DL of 45, variable mo of 0.36. And now let's consider the fixed mo, just the portion that varies, because it's almost being treated like a variable cost. And we said variable costs are always relevant, because if we make it, we're going to incur that cost. If we don't make it, we won't incur that cost. That's what's meant by avoidable. Okay, so let's go ahead and consider it. Add all that up. Let's see what we get. I don't trust my math, so I want to make sure. So 1.80 is our total relevant costs. And if we buy it, it is 1.75 to purchase it, right? So at this point now we're like, oh, now that we know we could save some of the fixed cost if we don't make it, it actually is cheaper to buy it. And so based on the quantitative analysis, we would say, go ahead and buy. But a good manager will also consider some qualitative analysis and know that if we buy it, there's some disadvantages. We're going to lose control. We're going to lose that, the logistics of the inventory management, right? And it might impact our brand if by not making it internally, we have to lay off some workers, right? So there's always more to consider than the quantitative analysis. But in this intro class, we're going to rely heavily on quantitative. So based on the numbers in the second situation, we would say, go ahead and buy from an outside vendor. All right, that concludes our videos for this module. Go ahead and try the participation work and turn it in by the due date. Bye, guys.